One thing about me, I was born in a jungle and grew up in a zoo, so I know pretty well, naturally, the difference between a lion and a hyena. You just keep this piece of information somewhere because we don't play games here. Alright, sweetie? I made a banana cake. Keto, low carb banana cake. So soft, so moist, so delicious, so good because I am the best of the best. Of course, I create the best of the best. You know what I'm saying? Hello, my tribe, my beautiful people. Welcome back to my channel, Sakina here. Today's episode is brought to you by my own banana cake, and we have a co-sponsor, Matcha Green Tea. Today we are so grounded and we are matching. All right, let's go. I lived in a space and time where a man was the ultimate goal, the ultimate dream for pretty much every single girl at the time. And obviously, ultimately, and eventually, I lost so many good friends, girls, in early stages of my life, losing them to marriages and at the age of 15, 16, 17, because that thing started early from middle school all the way to high school and obviously university and colleges and some other timelines. And it was so confusing at the time. I was still a child. It was so confusing. On a deeper soul level, I understood, but I didn't know how to express it. So I was just looking at the whole trait, confused, but I never had the ability to express it. You know what I'm saying? And trust me when I tell you, I still vividly remember the reactions. The girls were so hyped and happy, and they felt so exceptional and so special because they got picked at 15, 16, 17, all the way to 18 and so forth. They got picked in their peak. And I never had the consciousness to sit down and ask one of them, yeah, they got married at this age. Okay, but the questions were so burning inside. And until I was in high school, so I sat down with this girl. We were so close and so good buddies. She was marrying one of our teachers. So that's that. I asked her, okay, so you're getting married with our teacher. That's it? What next? I mean, are you gonna just forget everything? You don't have any dreams? You don't have any goals and so forth? You know, this kind of questions. Now that I'm thinking about it, backwards, obviously, those girls had no idea what they're signing up for. They had no idea what is marriage because we didn't have those educations. We didn't have any sexual education. They had no idea what's on the other side of this kind of contract. You know what I'm saying? But the girl that I asked in high school, she looked me dead in the eye. Like I'm the problem. I'm weird. To be honest with you, she's right. Yeah, Taylor Swift, she ate with that one. That I am the problem, she ate with that one. I'm not a Swiftie, I don't like her. But she ate with that one because I was the problem. I was weird. You know what I'm saying? We're going to go into that one later on. And she said, what is your problem? And just because, you know, you were not picked, are you jealous of me? I mean, no, I said, no, I'm not jealous of you. I don't know jealousy. You are my friend for a long time, and you're pretty smart and pretty bright, and you have so much potential. I mean, so you're choosing marriage over your own dreams and stuff. So I'm just asking, is it the end of your own journey, or just a beginning or a pause or whatever? And she said, this is the goal. This is the dream. Getting married at 17, 18. That's the goal. There is nothing else that could top this, to be picked at 18. There's nothing else. Yeah, I'm good. This is what I'm choosing. I got my teacher. I think you're just jealous. You know? I don't know jealousy. I don't have it in my DNA. We bumped head with each other. Not just that girl. So many girls who got married in middle school, high school, and even a little bit later than that, in college and universities and some other stages in our lives. We bumped head. I only saw zombies walking, sad women. There's a lot of deception and lost dreams and sadness, darkness, you know. So pretty much that was the pattern. That was the code that was activated and used and abused in so many ways back then for pretty much everyone else. And based on my own theory, You are either an extension or the opposite of your own representations. Those were the representations we were exposed to at the time. Where am I in this first mix? Because we have layers. I was there. I got proposals of marriages since when I was 15, in middle school, all the way high school. And let me tell you, I used to run physically, spiritually. I felt like I have to run for my life for a lot of reasons. Well, obviously, if you know anything about my story, the use and abuse and the traumas and all the shit that was happening at the time made me just run. What do you mean you want to marry me at the age of 15, 16, 17? What do you mean? What do you mean? I used to run. I was so scared of men in general because of a lot of things. The representation, number one, I had the father's wound, all of them, the mother's wound, all kind of wounds. And because of I was pretty much almost raped my entire life from men from the neighborhood. So what do you mean? Just leave me alone. And I realized that I had a pattern on my own because the best book that you can read is your own. The pattern was people or guys who wanted to marry me, they wanted to marry me because of the abuse. Because, yeah, it's going to be super easy to just keep abusing this little girl. She got nowhere to go, no family, no money, no resources whatsoever. She's not clever. Yeah, we're going to just fuck her over. And then the whole paradigm shifted when everything shifted in my life, when few things, positive things happened. And then the men who were never like, I was never on their radar, they started to think about, marrying me, but with conditions. So basically my story, that a girl from the dumpster, the use and abuse and traumatized, blah, 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 was basically the reason why some men didn't want to marry me and some other men wanted so bad to have me. Not as a prize. No. No, I was never the prize at the time. Never. I overheard an interesting conversation when I was about 19. I was cleaning, doing some chores, and between the adoptive dad and some other guy who used to chill with, the conversation was the following: "What you gonna do with this girl? My son. You can just marry, and we don't care what they do." Yeah. The adoptive dad was like, with a tone, "I don't know what you're talking about. You know how many kids I have. They're all married and all set and settled. They're all good. She's not my daughter. And she is here to serve me. She is the maid, and she is good at it. And now that she got this good job and she's making money, that's my money. That's my return on investment. She's going to be working for me the rest of her life. She's not my daughter. Now don't give two flying fingers about what she's going to do. She's not a marriage material. You know what I'm saying?" Oh yeah, I was there. And this is just one of the conversation because the unsaid and untold was way affecting than the spoken words. You know what I'm saying? I told you many times, people say a lot without saying. So that's that. Thank you, Dad. Thank you. It was a lot of competition between girls. It was a lot of comparison. It was a lot of jealousy. It was a lot of peer pressure. Now, did I get married? Yeah, I did. It was not because of the peer pressure. It was because of the trauma pressure. The box got so small, it's so tight, and so suffocating. It was time to go. Yes, I did. Now, speaking about the representations, it was basically a lot of arranged marriages, someone who knows someone, and for whatever reasons and whatever criterias and boxes you check, that's what it was. For me, it was not that shit. It was literally, I am making the quantum jump. I am choosing. I am investing. If it works, that's cool. If it doesn't, that's on me. And that's on me. You know what I'm saying? So that's that. And the feedback, who was feedbacking? Oh, poor thing. She didn't know anything. Yeah, I didn't know any better. That's true. Oh, she got what she deserved. Oh, absolutely. I got exactly what I deserved because I got exactly who I was at the time. And I said it many times. I'm going to say it right now, again and again. When you are in hell, you keep jumping from hell to hell until you understand why you are jumping from hell. The truth is, a man was never an obsession of mine. And marriage itself was never on my bucket list. And this was years ago when I had no idea about the difference between a dream, a goal, and an intention. That pretty much sums up everything you need to know. My dreams were so big that I could touch them, like literally touch my dreams. I'm not kidding. But because of the limited belief, because of the environment, because of the representation, the traumas, and all the good stuff, I didn't believe in them. I was told, no, you cannot do it. Who are you? You are just the girl from the dumpster. I said it many times, so we're not gonna do all that shit. But here is the thing. The girls who got that, they used to just sit down and brag in ways that it's incomprehensive to me back then and right now. Because girl, what are you bragging about? You married a pedophile. That's what it is. That's what it was. I said what I said. You don't even know how to wipe your ass. You don't even know how to deal with your vagina. You have no idea what is an orgasm. You have no idea about the whole shit. Yeah, I married at 18. Yeah, you married a pedophile, sweetie. Brag about the fact they got picked in early ages at the peak and they're going strong and this and that. I would never sit down and have a conversation with someone who brags for a lot of reasons, let alone someone who brags about some illusion. You know what I'm saying? That's what you're fed. That's a motherfucking lie, an illusion. You're just bragging about an illusion. Le mirage. Yeah. What are you bragging about? You married a pedophile. That's what it is. I said what I said. I don't give two fucks about what you think. You married a motherfucking pedophile. You had no idea what you're signing up for. And now you are bragging about deceptions. What do you mean? I don't see success. I don't see you thriving. I don't see happiness. I don't see nothing. I see struggle, deception, recession. That's all I see. You cannot convince me that you're happy because I don't see happiness. Honest with you, I wouldn't even listen to you because it's not the life I want. And I knew this deep down, but I ended up doing the same shit because of the representations. I'm gonna go back to that one in a second. And the core idea and understanding and dogma that was fed to everyone was you have, as a woman, you have to sit down and take the beating, take the shit, sacrifice, don't speak, don't talk, have a bunch of kids. I mean, if you have some money, you have to invest, you just put it, together, build a man and so forth and just pray. You know what I'm saying? If there's any shit, you just sit down and hope for the best. It's crazy. That was the representation that we were fed and we didn't know. We had no idea that we are just repeating the same cycles over and over and over. But here's the kicker. There is a kicker. There's always a kicker. Okay. There were so many girls who had different upbringings and representations. I was not exposed to them. That's that. But I have seen some exceptions to the matrix and to the whole patterns, which the opposite of the representation side of my own theory comes from. I have seen him. I'm so happy. Girls who came from nothing, with very humble and beginnings, from poor environments and so forth, they made it. They made it to the other side just by refusing the paradigm. Just by saying, hey, my mom is poor, my mom is a loser, my mom this and this and that. I don't accept that shit. So they went outside of their box, outside of the comfort zone, and they did some few things, few tweaks differently because they exposed themselves to a better outcome, better environments, if you will. And that shit comes with a price. That shit comes with a higher price tag. Sacrificing your own representation, going and swimming against the tide, putting yourself where you want to be, period, day one. They won. Now we're gonna talk a little bit about the collective ego in shadow, where all the shit happened. They were called whores, hoes, bitches, and so forth because they decided they deserve a better life. They want stability. They want beauty. They want financial freedom. They want to leave to a better place. They want to have, secure life for their kids. Because deep down they know that's the self concept. Deep down they know they deserve better. Yes. I mean, that was just the reputation. Who gives a fuck about the reputation? Because if you know the game, if you understand the game, just have a bad reputation because you can always change that. You can always elevate. You can always upgrade. And obviously, you can always rewrite your own story. You know what I'm saying? And this was way before the Kardashian era. The girls who wanted something different and just went for it. Who's gonna stop you? Sky's not even the limit. And they did. They won. And I was so happy for them. Silently dancing inside and clapping. Yes, my girl. You deserve it. Who gives a fuck who's calling you a bitch? Yeah, a bitch. Yes. Thank you so much for your service. Thank you. Now, what all this has to do with the banana cake? Everything. Everything, mi amor. Patience is a beautiful virtue. Everything. I witnessed firsthand girls who win with the flow of the representation. They end up having the same conversations, the same path, the same life, the same results as their own representations. Every single female representation they have, mothers, grandmothers, and so forth. The same history just rolling over and over and over for decades and for generations. And obviously, I saw a lot of depression, oppression. I saw a lot of failures. I saw a lot of silence by design, not even by choice. Because if you accept some shit and you're just not talking about it, maybe you're doing some inner work or whatever. I've never seen anyone doing any kind of inner work. It was literally, yeah, this is what it is, and this is the life. You're gonna accept it and be okay with it, embrace it, and just keep on praying because this is a fate. Period. Period. That was the brainwashing, the programming, that was the paradigm, that was the reality. And so many women were suffering in silence. They end up having so many health issues because even divorce was not an option at the time. You will be crucified and shamed and guilt if you end up in divorce. And let me tell you, if that shit happened, you will be more crucified and put in so many boxes and shamed because you decided to take your own life by the motherfucking horns and you decided to leave. Divorced women, crucified. Crucified. They are called so many things: whores, hoes, bitches, losers, and so forth. And obviously, nobody can even think about marrying you. Yeah, you are damaged goods. You know what I'm saying? The low-hanging fruit for a lot of reasons. So that's that. Yeah, but still, what is the correlation with the actual banana cake? I'll tell you. I didn't lose the train of my thoughts. There is no train, sweetie. These are screenshots from the past. Girls used to lie to get the men. Girls used to lie some crazy, wide lies to get the men. And to be fair, everyone was lying to everyone at some point. So that's that. Wide, straight up lies. Girls used to lie about anything and everything all the time. And I'm not talking about this from an ethical, morally correct standpoint. I don't give a fuck what you lie about. That's not my business. I don't judge. I have my own code. So you can do whatever you want with this piece of information. Girls used to lie about their skin. This is my skin. You don't tell me shit. Wearing makeup 24/7, like literally no break. That's her skin. Hair, body count, virginity, and the list is so long. Girls used to wear and put the scarf, the hijab, just to get the man. Because at some point in history, men were so obsessed with the hijab. Because a girl wearing hijab at the time used to put her in a whole different religious and tax bracket. So that's that. They used to be so obsessed with girls who are wearing hijab because to them they are so pure, innocent, they are close to God, they are decent and modest and so forth. You know what I'm saying? Keep in mind, those same exact men, they had zero conscious understanding of the whole core of the whole religion. They got it from the tail, if that makes sense. You know what I'm saying? And I'm gonna show you where the lie lies. All those girls who put the hijab with the intention to get married is just because they put them in the position to be seen by very specific men. Period. They don't even pray. Most of them, they had bad hair day every single day, so I'm gonna put the scarf to just, look modest. I'm not gonna be doing so much, you know what I'm saying? Or because they just look cute, in the scarf. They don't even pray. They lie. Obviously, that's the hot topic of today's video. They gossip, they judge, they do so many crazy things. They don't even pray. They have no idea what is that religious symbol, the scarf itself, purpose. They have no idea. Just to get the men. Okay, you got the men. Good for you. Moreover, which gets the plot thicker and thicker and adds more insults to the injury itself. So much witchcraft behind the scenes. And we have a consensus. More than 89% of marriages are initiated because of some kind of witchcraft done behind the scenes, and more than 99.99% of marriages are still going strong because of some kind of witchcraft done at some point or maybe continuously behind the scenes. I said what I said. Now we're gonna get into the actual good stuff. Years ago, when I was a fool in my full journey, when I had zero understanding of who I am, I had zero boundaries, and I was a people pleaser and all the good stuff that comes with motherfucking trauma, specifically childhood trauma. When my door and my heart and everything was wide open, just come on, yeah, come on. I made a chocolate cake. And I had this woman who was not even a friend. Because to be honest with you, I was not supposed to be with that woman. We're different breeds, but here we are. So she knew somebody that I knew at the time. And my door, as I said, my heart and everything was just open. Yeah, just come on. More shit, just come on. So I made that chocolate cake. And because I was so generous, so giving, so stupid, so naive, and so forth, all the good stuff, when she was leaving, I just got a big piece of that chocolate cake and I just said, hey, take this one with you to the kids. Yeah. The next day, in the early morning, this same woman came running, knocking on the door, on the windows. Hey, Sakina, I gotta talk to you. And I was like, okay, yeah, what's going on? She said, that cake you made yesterday is phenomenal. Is out of this world. I have never experienced something like that. What is the secret? And I was like, I don't have any secrets. I'm just naturally good with baking and cooking. Yeah, one of the boxes that people used to put me in. You feel me? Matcha. Perfect. And then she proceeded to say, I'm gonna need that recipe right now. Right now. Yeah, of course, the old me. Obviously, of course, yeah, this is what I did. These are the ingredients. Fast forward maybe about 4 hours later, give or take, she came back all sweaty with fire in her eyes with her older daughter. And she was like, why did you lie to me? Why did you lie to me? It's a flop. And I was like, what do you mean it's a flop? No, that's the recipe. She was like, no, you just wasted my time, my energy, my expectation, and money and ingredients for this shit. Why did you lie about cake? Well, the old people pleaser, me. I was like, why would I lie about cake? I gave you exactly the ingredients. I didn't lie. Maybe you did something wrong, throughout the process. I mean, I don't know. Maybe the oven, because I have an electrical one. What kind of ovens you? Like, no. You just lied. You just piece of crap. You lied. You just messed up the whole thing right now. I got people coming and I need the cake. Now. Now you try me now, bitch. But the old me, obviously, I was like, okay, well, what can I do to help? He said, well, you have to make the cake right now. And my daughter will be here, like hovering over you. Yeah. And she didn't even offer money for the ingredients. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I did. I went in and got the ingredients with no money. And, spent time and energy and everything else. And mom, with her daughter hovering over me and making the cake. Let me tell you, the daughter's head was somewhere in the 59 class. She was not there. She doesn't know nothing about the baking and the cooking. She was just somewhere in the clouds. She was 15. She was 15, okay? I made the cake. The second cake was more phenomenal than the first one. Amazing. Here is something that I have to mention. Cooking and baking is witchcraft, is magic. You know what I'm saying? It's transmutation, is alchemy. That's what it is. So I can give you the ingredients, the recipe, but without the X factor, without the it factor, without the energy and the vibes and the right intentions, it will be a flop. So that's that. Yep, I am the X factor. I am the it factor. But I had no idea at the time. We got the cake. I decorated the cake with the chocolate and all the good stuff. The cake was a bomb. The motherfucking chef kissed. I offered to deliver the cake because the cake was this big and so jiggly. The daughter was like, no. My mom said, I'm the one who's supposed to bring it back. Period. I said, okay. Take your cake, sweetie. We're good. Went on with my life in my survival mode at the time. I was not even thinking about the cake or the whole incident, to be honest with you. 4 days later, that lady came back with her oldest daughter, the 15 years old daughter. And this is what was revealed. Are you ready? All right, mi amors. Are you ready? Vamos. She said, do you remember the day you gave me that big chunky piece of chocolate cake? I said, yeah. What's up? Yeah, what's up? She was like, we had some people over, husbands, relative friends, or whatever. And they tried the cake and they loved it so much. They were so impressed by the cake. They were making so many good compliments. They were like, no, this is not from here. This is from heaven. This is amazing. Did you buy it? And I said, no, we don't buy cakes. So we make our own. You know what I'm saying? We make our own. And I said, okay, yeah, sure. She didn't lie. No lies detected. And then they were like, okay, who made this magical cake? And my daughter said, I made the cake. I'm the one who made the cake. I'm good at making so many things, and cakes are one of them. And then they were so impressed and were like, wow, you made this masterpiece? Oh my gosh. We have our son right here. He's looking for a wife. What do you think? Do you want to marry him? And she was like, yeah, I'll marry your son. I'm good at making cakes. And I said, wow, that's a life-changing event. Yeah, I admit. So what now? She was like, yeah, she's marrying their son. Next week we have the ceremony. I was not invited, by the way, so that's that. Yeah, my daughter, she's 15. She was picked. She's marrying next week this amazing guy because of your cake. Yeah, but she lied. She lied. Don't call me. I was married at the time. You know what I'm saying? But she lied. She said she made the cake, and I can tell she's not good at anything but lying. Beautiful liar. She was married to a guy within a week because of a big fat lie. Where was I in the whole lies mix? I never lie. I always tell the truth. What you do with it, that's up to you. That is up to you. The difference between back then and now is that I tell different stories. Always the truth, but different stories. I would always find a way to insert my own theory or either an extension or the opposite of something. In this specific case, she got picked at 15 because her mom got picked at 14. Her mom is stay-home mom, doing nothing, bunch of kids. The husband is not successful, is like, I don't know, hustling and grinding every single day. There's a lot of struggle and trauma right there. So basically the girl is going basically with the flow of the same representation. Maybe her mom lied about something. You never know. Because history has a pattern. It does always repeat itself in so many ways. So now that you lied to get a man, how is it going for you? I want to see how are you doing and what are you doing to keep the man, because having a man is something, keeping the man, it's a whole different story. One thing about this amazing beautiful universe is all about balance. You can lie whatever you want, you can keep on lying, it will catch up one day and it's gonna be ugly. I know you have Abbas on dial so you can just keep calling Abbas and playing with your husband, the free will, and poisoning him, because that's lying now, and it comes with a price, and you'll see it. Karma is a motherfucking bitch. Anyway, because God loves me so much and I am his favorite and he got my back all the way, and I'm feeling a little bit generous today. This is what I used. Okay. This is what I used. Yeah. You get this, you follow the instructions, you add this for the banana flavor, pecans. Super easy. Not because I am the best of the best. I can share with you some tweaks that I add, some magic that I throw in there to make it very high-end, gourmet, style. Well, you can add some black pepper, just take notes and shut the fuck up. Some salt, You can add some little bit of brown sugar, rose water, ginger, cinnamon, nutmeg, some holy water, because with these demons, you gotta put a little bit of that. A little bit of saffron, more butter than oil. Yeah, why not? Because I'm bougie, I'm rich. That's it. Shake and bake. Period. And this comes with a disclaimer. You can only copy, you cannot be. Because I am the X factor and I am the it factor. I can always change the magic and play with the elements, because I am in control. Bottom line, you don't need to lie about anything to get anything in your life, because honey, when you lie, manipulate, you are creating from lack, and it will show. It will show, come back and bite you in your motherfucking fat ass. Happy healing, you all.